For sure. Well, the excitement, let's not expose ourselves to any bias this afternoon ahead of that game.
Oh, Jason can be biased.
Can he?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Andy Townsend, I was just thinking, drives a motorbike at different times.
Yes, he does.
But he hasn't used it today.
I bet he hasn't.
So Manchester United end again for the fourth consecutive game with less shots than the opposition, but they've won. What does that tell us?
Well, they're resilient. I was disappointed with them a little bit second half. I thought they'd have opened up, there was times to break and they could have got past and played past Lukaku with runners, but they just didn't do it. They were just quite happy to sit there and see the game out.
Typical Jose, wasn't it? Second half, they got the lead. They dropped really, really deep. But unfortunately, they invited the pressure. And they almost succumbed to it, didn't they? They got back into it. West Brom. And then they knocked on the door for the rest of the game. And I feel they were slightly fortunate to get away with it.
Do you know, I'm just thinking, guys, I was just thinking there now, I wonder if this wasn't from Manchester City, what would we be saying about United? 3 points clear of Chelsea, 8 points clear of Arsenal. What would we be sitting here saying?
But that's the thing.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think everyone's judging United, not on United at times, but on City and what they're doing.
Exactly.
Because they are not Manchester City, and they never will be Manchester City in the way they go about their work.
I mean, he will actually say the amount of goals that he scored, Jose, the points that he's accumulated so far. I think they've got, before today, it was 6 points more than the double or the treble winning side at this stage of the season.
You just look at the league and
they're not doing too bad.
Yeah, I think the other thing is as well, he's not telling them at half-time not to run past people. He's not telling them not to run forward. Players have got to take some responsibility sometimes. You can't be throwing it at the manager all the time. And second half, they looked set.
Yeah.
They just looked as though they wanted to play the game out. Now, there's no way in a million years, as a manager, you go out there and tell them, not to run forward, not to play forward and run forward. But it's a great result for them. I actually thought there was going to be a little repercussion over yesterday's result with Man City. I thought United might really get beat today in respect to that result.
They've won the game. They haven't won it brilliantly, but they've won the football match in a tricky place.
Yeah.
A new manager going in.
Yes.
You just wonder. We've seen it already with Moisey and Sam Allardyce, that the way the teams have reacted to them going in. So it was a tricky place to go. They've won the football match, not with style, not with panache, but they've still won the football match, and they're the closest we've got to a challenger.
He'll be absolutely delighted with the result.
Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he'll be disappointed second half with the performance, and they didn't create more chances, more opportunities. But he'll be delighted that they've gone, as Andy said, they've gone away from home and they've won another game of football.
I think one thing that he needs to do is keep them motivated, because it must be. I always, when I was at Liverpool, I always challenged for the title, and we never got to a point in the season where, certainly not Christmas, where a United or an Arsenal has run away with it and we kind of give up. Where now I think they might have just resigned themselves to thinking...
Which season was that?
Well, 96, 97,
98. 99.
We were always in it. We were always in it. I mean, you've done enough commentary on us to know we were always in it. So we were always motivated by someone slipping up or us catching them or trying to get over the line, even into April. Where you look at it now, and I don't know whether the players, and you look at Jose today, whether he's resigned after last weekend to thinking... City have won it. Like, then you've got to motivate the players week in, week out.
And that's what we talked about before the game. Yeah. How would United respond, to this game today, specifically this game, after they'd played Tottenham? A lot of people fancied Tottenham, including a lot of people on this panel as well. And City have just taken them apart. And to get a reaction after that and win that game, I think you'd be delighted.
I know we've got your break, but just quickly, don't forget yesterday we saw Chelsea and Arsenal both playing at home and struggling against two sides we all thought that they would see off quite easily. So, I think we're judging United on City all the time, and it's really difficult for them, I think.
And that's maybe why he looks as miserable as he does, Jose.